1. Sunny is suffering. John checks in with Dana, who's trying to keep busy in the wake of her split with Sunny. Meanwhile, Sunny is finding life at the rehab clinic hard. Warren notices his patient is skipping meals and tries to help, but Sunny isn't in the mood to talk. Relations between the pair get even more strained when Sunny discovers Warren's secret meetings with Dana. 2. Sunny takes a tumble. Dana gives Sunny a call in a bid to understand why he's pushing her away. She then goes to see him in person, but Sunny sends his ex away. Later, Sunny gets grilled by fellow rehab resident Lewis about his breakup with Dana. Annoyed by Lewis's questions, Sunny tries to make a quick getaway but ends up catching his wheelchair and falling to the floor. 3. Harper blames herself. Down at the police station, Cash defies David's orders by sneaking Mackenzie and Harper in to see Tain. Harper tells Cash that she thinks Kerry planted the drugs at Tains, and he agrees with her. Later, the guilt gets too much for Harper as she breaks down to Dana and declares that Tain's arrest is all her fault because she let Kerry back into her life. 4. Tain wants justice. David has an honest conversation with Joe and tells her he had no choice but to arrest Tain for drug possession. Soon, Tain's solicitor arrives and advises him not to answer any more questions from the police. But when David mentions child services, Tain tells him Kerry Matheson is the person he needs to speak to. 5. Remy takes a turn. Remy receives a call to say Sunny is in hospital following a fall. He discovers that Sunny has listed him as his emergency contact. Arriving at the rehab facility, Remy starts experiencing pain in his hands and blurred vision, but is determined not to let Sunny know about his brain tumour. Meanwhile, Dana's quest to help Sunny continues as she finds a training course for spinal cord injuries. 6. Leah hurts Justin's feelings. Leah and Justin can't get enough of one another as the reunited couple spend a steamy night together at a motel. Afterwards, as they're getting dressed, Leah makes a passing comment about not wasting money on a motel next time, which Justin takes to heart. Annoyed that she didn't appreciate his romantic surprise, Justin tells his wife he won't bother making the effort in the future. 7. Holden takes revenge on Marley. Holden confronts Marley about cancelling his surfing lessons, but he refuses to budge. As Lacey gets wind of the situation, Holden feigns innocence and continues to play the grief card. She takes pity on him and asks Marley to change his mind, but he won't. Later, Marley is confused to discover all 6 of his students haven't shown up for their surf lesson. 8. Lacey discovers Holden's true colours. Marley discovers someone sent his students texts cancelling their lesson, and it's obvious to him who's to blame. Holden denies any wrongdoing, but when he makes a comment about Marley getting what he deserves, Lacey starts to smell a rat. Her suspicions are confirmed when Holden refuses to let her check his phone. He's caught out, and Lacey tells Holden she never wants to see him again. 9. Remy begins radiotherapy. Eden accompanies an anxious Remy to the hospital for his first radiation session. The treatment is confronting and scary for Remy, who emerges from the room warning he'll be feeling the side effects in a couple of hours. Eden pleads with Remy to come and stay with her, but Levi warns his sister to give her friend some space. 10. Leah makes it up to Justin. Leah feels terrible for what she said to Justin about his motel surprise. To make up for it, she books a room at another motel and gets a reluctant Alf to deliver Justin an envelope. Inside are instructions for their rendezvous, and an excited Justin dashes off to meet his wife. 11. Abigail is on to Eden. Despite Eden's best attempts to keep Remy's illness from Abigail, her sister starts to suspect something is wrong. She puts her sister on the spot, but Eden refuses to break Remy's confidence. But how much longer will it be before Abigail discovers the truth for herself? 12. David removes Cash from Tain's case. As the week goes on, David's concerns about Cash's conflict of interest in Tain's investigation mounts, and he orders his colleague to think about where his allegiance lies. When Cash helps Tain make bail, it's the final straw for David. With no clear evidence that Kerry planted the drugs, David tells Cash he has no choice but to remove him from the case. 13. Cash is a man on a mission. Despite David's decision, Cash decides to take the case into his own hands to prove Tain's innocence. He enlists Harper to help him and asks her to write down a list of any of Kerry's possible dealers. Meanwhile, Jo feels increasingly torn between her loyalties for David and her feelings for Tain. 14. Jo picks a side. David is concerned about how Jo is going to cope having a boyfriend who's in prison if Tain ends up being sent down. Despite this, it's not going to stop him doing his job. The police boss returns home to discover Jo isn't there, so he heads to Tains looking for his daughter. Jo emerges and tells David she's made her decision. She's backing Tain, and he needs to leave right away.